Here we go.
Hey Poopy, how you doing? Hey Poopy, how you doing?
I'm just, trying to find a place with like-minded people to talk about like-minded things about me, about poop and stuff.
Hey Poopy, how you doing? Hey Poopy, how you doing?
Oh man, what's this right here? Is this a podcast about poop?
And now, shooting the shit with Dave and Ellen.
Hey!
Yes.
We are back.
Back in the saddle.
That dirty, dirty saddle.
Back in the diaper.
Dirty diapers. Hi, everybody. It's Shooting the Shit with
Dave.
and Ellen. And it's episode number 28.
That's crazy.
But it'll always be number 2 to us.
Always number 2.
Because it's the best number in the world.
2 is great. It's a good duo.
It is. We are the dirty
We're the
duo.
dirty duo.
You guys are number 2, right?
We are.
Yes.
And sometimes we have a third. We have a guest today. His name is Kyle BonBon. Yes, you're talking to Gigi BonBon's significant other. She was on the episode a couple episodes ago. So listen, people, it's not my fault if you haven't caught up.
She was also at our Double Deuce live party. Live
She
taping.
was. So if you don't know who Gigi BonBon is, that is not our fault. That is yours.
That's on you.
That's on
She was
you.
the one that farted into the mic. at
She was the
Yes.
first
at the
one.
party,
She
so-
delivered.
She delivered big time.
Actually, I just saw her in the gift that we gave her for farting. She told me she put it on the toilet, and you were like, no.
Yeah.
Nope.
Fluffy toilet seat cover. No, it's not going to happen. It's
Yeah.
not gonna
Especially
work
this
for me.
summer.
I'm with you.
No,
It's
fuck
I know. I told you. I thought I threw it out, but I must have taken 2 of them because there's one under the sink I found today.
Oh.
So I think I might, when the winter comes around, just gonna put it on for like a second and just to take a picture. But I don't think I want to use that.
I mean, I broke one,
gross.
and I think I'm going to try the other one come winter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
I was
toast those
literally
buns up.
at Kyle and Gigi's apartment right before this because Gigi's my personal Pilates teacher. And she was complaining about her toilet seat, and I was like, you guys could buy a really nice one for like cheap. We both have beautiful wooden toilet seats that I got for like $25, maybe less. And I like shitting on wood because I feel like one with nature.
That's beautiful. Or maybe like one of those plush, like built-in cushion ones.
Ooh, like grandma style?
My grandma, yeah, those are weird. Those retain a lot of heat.
Yeah, and your ass gets stuck to it.
Yeah.
No,
Yep.
thank you.
Like, I like my wooden seat, but I'm pretty sure it's not actual real wood. But whatever.
Really? I think mine's real wood.
I think
no?
mine is like,
You think yours is painted on?
I
no.
think they need to like at least put some sort of sealant on there. Just 'cause
Yeah, I think it's like a particle board type
porous
of thing,
kinda
to be honest with you.
Really?
I didn't read the label, but I just don't think it's actual really wood.
Wow.
I think it's like, but I mean, it looks great.
Well, it's still kind of made out of wood. Particle board's made out of wood.
Yeah, I mean, it's woodish. It's wood adjacent.
It's better than plastic.
I'll
Yeah.
go in there after and take a look at it and let
Yeah.
you guys know if it's
There you
real.
go.
That's my expertise.
Stick
Oh,
your ass
perfect.
on there. Get comfortable. Use the tushy.
Do a field test.
Yeah. It's swamp ass season, so get that tushy in there. Squeeze it all out.
That's right.
Squirt it down. Hose it down. Right?
Yes.
Yes. We should probably go into the show, but before we go into who Kyle BonBon is, we go into our check-in. And we always check in with our guests first. Kyle, how have your poops been recently?
Well, I just want to start by saying that I was thinking about this section of the show on my train ride up here, and I came up with the perfect thank you gift for being on the podcast
Ooh.
that
Oh, we love gifts.
I wasn't able to obviously procure before now, but I found a nice little like embossed metal sign of the Bristol Stool Chart.
No way!
So I'm going to have to order it up for you guys.
Aw,
Wow.
thank you.
So, as far as my poops are concerned, today was kind of a bit of a range. My last shit that I had that I was texting you about, Ellen, I was planning on holding it and taking
because you had a business trip in Maryland.
I did.
But you live in New York,
Yep.
so...
Yeah, so I was thinking I would hold the shit and take it on the train just so I could do a little report of the Amtrak toilet.
Well, that'd been great.
I didn't make it.
Oh.
I had to go in the train station in Delaware in Wilmington.
Okay.
Well, when nature calls...
How are those facilities?
It was moderate to gross.
Okay.
And,
That's what I would suspect.
I'm
Just
pretty happy that I didn't save it for the train because it was fucking disgusting.
Oh.
It was
I tried to pee on the train, and that shit's hard.
I mean, I've done it before. I've pooped on the train, pooped on the airplane. Like
Pooped on the airport.
I've pooped in a lot of places where most people don't normally poop because I just like, it's a fucking bathroom. It's a toilet. It's there for pooping.
Yeah.
And I just do it. But I didn't make it today, and it was a type 7 plus, and it smelled like somebody like the most fucked up Thanksgiving dinner ever. Like it smelled kind of like turkey, but just like rotten, sulfurous, like disgusting. Like it was terrible, and it would have cleared out the train cabin.
I could never eat turkey again. Thank you very much.
That is, yeah. I love turkey still. I'm still eating turkey. But
I will. I'll go back
like
to
all
it
like
tomorrow.
mixed in, like all the foods mixed in the one like just vomitous smell.
I was just sitting there pooping, just like being so happy that I didn't wait.
Yeah,
because I was with my boss, and we're just not there yet for him to smell my disgusting poop from like
I would never
15 rows of seats away from.
Oh my god, if my boss
was.
There's no way.
Well, there's that saying, my boss makes $1, I make a dime, so that's why I poop on the company's time.
I've never heard that.
Yeah,
just now.
I think I posted that on the Instagram.
You did?
Yeah, like it was like a meme.
Oh, I don't remember that.
My boss makes $1, I make a dime. That's why I poop on the company's time.
Well, that's great.
Right?
That's a total like bathroom sign in a bar.
It's also words to live by because pooping on the job is the greatest thing in the world.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I used to have anxiety about it, my first job, but then like the second one, I'm like, oh fuck this, I'm letting loose.
Yeah.
Oh, I go for it, and we have like I work in a trailer. I work in a compound of a series of trailers, and there's a special bathroom trailer. So it's like very secluded.
Oh, nice.
And it's away from everybody. So I just go in there and just.
Is it like one level up from a porta potty? I think like a toilet trailer.
No, it's
sounds.
It's like not a bad bathroom. I think they put more attention to the bathroom in this. It's like a locker room.
Oh.
And we have like showers and lockers and everything. But there is a pretty nice bathroom in there.
Oh, that's good.
Nice.
I spend a lot of time in there.
Yeah.
Like to think.
Well, because your boss makes $1 and you make a dime, shit, all the way.
Yeah.
That's right. It's the break room.
Boop, 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 boop.
It's like.
I'm sorry you had a 7 today. Was that your only due today?
No, I had a couple this morning too.
Before you left the house?
Well, I had one when I first got up. That was like probably a 5. And then I always like the way it works for me is I always go when I wake up, and then after I have coffee, I always go, and then usually like half an hour later, I usually do another coffee shit because it really runs through me. So I usually start with a nice poop, and then it just gets like progressively more disgusting and watery over the morning.
That's what I think. Mine I kind of like that as well. They start off really strong, and then just.
And then they get
like
looser
weak
and
as
looser.
Well, it's like they
it's
say,
like a newborn goes to like a fucking geriatric patient.
you got to hold it to mold it, and all night you're sleeping, and it's just like in there forming into a nice, comfortable, perfect little shit.
Yeah.
And then
It's like a sculpture class.
Yeah.
That needs to be on a
crafting
t-shirt.
something.
Hold it to mold it.
It's like you got to get off the cough. You got to hold the mold. Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Dave, how's your poops been?
I had a really bad. It seemed normal when I was taking it, and then I flushed, finished my daily. Went to the shower, all that stuff, and then my wife. I leave the shower, I leave the bathroom, and my wife comes in. And is like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, "Did I forget to flush?" She's like, "No, there's like remnants everywhere," and I'm like, "Oh my god!" It looked like. And I mean,
Splatter poo.
they were just hanging on there. Like there's no, it was not.
You had to get the brush out.
It looked like some kind of like hieroglyphics. They're just bad.
Oh my goodness.
So it was like it was loose, but like.
I feel like that happens though from the tushy sometimes. Like I'll have a perfect Bristol 4, but then like there's a little bit of remnants left on, and the tushy just like splatters it around.
Well, so then that was in the morning, and then I don't know, like afternoon. Like early afternoon, around 1-ish, let's say. I went again. Same fucking thing. And I just cleaned the bathroom in the morning. I cleaned the entire I cleaned the tub, sink, toilet, off the floor. Although I got to redo it again. But there was I was like, what is going on right now? It was like, there was a little piece in the front. I'm like, how did they get to the front? But I think it is the tushy just splashing around some, some stuff here and there. But whatever. That aside, like it was.
We got to get some binding agent for you in your gut.
Yeah, I just think, well, basically when I, just eat like more veggies. I mean, I eat a ton of veggies, but like when I just eating just like that, mainly a tiny bit of protein, like meat and like some like good carbs, like sweet potatoes, my shits are like fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But then I started I had pizza today, which I haven't had pizza in a while, but I couldn't resist 2 boots, and that's gonna be dangerous tonight.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be a mess. So yeah, nothing good, nothing to write home about. Just some messy dumps.
Hey, it's just a check-in.
Yeah, you know.
We're not awarded for these poops. We're just checking in.
I just hate saying that because I feel like this guy must eat like just garbage, and I don't. But today I ate a little shitty. Maybe last night.
When you eat shitty, you make shitty.
That's true.
Yeah.
Cheese is gonna fuck me up tomorrow or tonight.
I have been like literally on the roller coaster of the Bristol stool chart. I have had every number all 7, all week long.
You visited every state.
I literally, yeah. I'm like 1 to 3 to 7 to up and down, and I'm like, what the fuck? And the only thing I can think of that, like, first I felt kind of more constipated, but I got that Swiss Chris that our last guest Jason suggested, and I was like, I haven't really made a decent do. Like, I've been just doing number 1s, and I was like, I'm gonna try this Swiss Chris shit out, and I only did 1 pill. Jason was like, you could take 2 or 3. I was like, I don't want to be stuck at home on the toilet, so I took 1, and the next day I made like 3 fairly decent solid do's. Like, it wasn't full on like I just ate magic mushrooms and I'm like having a full evacuation, but they were pretty decent. But thankfully today I had like a pretty good 4. It was a 4 with like a Danny DeVito twin next to it, you know? Like it was like Arnold Schwarzenegger came out first, and then this like little half version that was like
explanation of shit ever heard.
And they were literally lying next to each other, and I was like, what? How can this be so beautiful and this one be so like half-assed?
Yeah.
So my Danny DeVito poo was like a little just slower to the game than my Arnold Schwarzenegger poo. But yeah.
Okay. So you've been like up and down the chart.
Oh my god, all over the place. But I can give my full stamp of approval to the Swiss Chris. I liked it a lot. I brought Dave a bottle.
That was
I know.
Best. He always gives me gifts. I love her.
I know you won't use it because you don't need it.
Yeah, I don't need. I mean, I've never. I mean, look, I'm not. Never say never. I could have a problem. Like maybe
this
I'll bring
is 250 pills. You're gonna have this for the rest of your life.
I am going to Florida tomorrow, and usually, like, I don't go as much as when travel. So maybe I'll just take some of that. But I don't want
flying will do that to you.
Yeah, I don't want to fuck up our friends' bathroom. So
yeah,
maybe I won't bring it with me.
Yeah. Well, no, it was good. It wasn't like explosive. It wasn't like smooth move.
Oh.
It was pretty solid.
Lately.
Yeah. It was like I went from like a 1 to a 3.
Oh, okay.
Sounds safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't, yeah. And I took it before I went to bed, and it didn't wake me up in the middle of the night with like the bubble guts.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. I strongly approve.
All right, Swiss Chris. I keep thinking of Ruth Chris, the
I know, right?
Steakhouse, which I've never been to, but
I like all the ingredients are really, really natural, so
cool.
You should be fine. You want to see Kyle?
Yeah, why not? Let's take a look. Yeah.
It sounds like you don't need it either.
I would never. I don't think I've been constipated since I was like a small
Yeah,
child.
I can't remember if I was constipated.
Never.
Like, it just doesn't happen.
Nope.
Ugh,
me neither.
Like, I started making, because it's like insanely hot in New York, and my usual breakfast is like yogurt with paleo granola and berries or some kind of fruit. And I read some friends post that they were doing overnight oats and that it's nice and cold because it's in the fridge. And I was like, ooh, that even sounds better. And the overnight oats has been making me so bloated that you would think with the oats and everything and the chia seeds, I'd be like shitting like a fucking king. But
the fiber's supposed to help everything along.
It just makes me look like I'm about 5 months pregnant and nothing wants to come out.
Oh, here, man, would you have to sit down? You're like, fuck you. I got a belly full
shit.
of oats. Right? I gotta take a shit, all right?
I got a duty on deck, and that's
oh my
it.
God. Oh.
So yeah.
All right, well, maybe this maybe next week it'll all be worked out. You go back to your no push, no wipes.
Well, yeah, I've been enjoying the taste of the overnight oats, but not what it's been doing to me.
Just crumple up a little Swiss Chris in there.
Right?
Yeah.
Sprinkle that in as a finishing touch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's
garnish.
actually a great idea. Maybe I'll just do the overnight oats and add the Swiss Chris to my
Swiss Chris.
Add that to my supplement pack that I take every day.
You know what they say the sound is?
What?
That's hillbilly mating call.
Oh!
in the big like opioid countries or counties. That made no sense in this context. That reminded me of this documentary I watched. Yeah,
because it's Swiss Chris. No, this sound means you're gonna be making solid do.
Yeah, it's like.
Ooh. Ooh.
I was like, love that part. Nice check-in.
Yeah. Okay, Kyle, let's talk about you. You can tell us anything you want about yourself, but we invited you as a guest on this podcast because your girlfriend, Gigi BonBon, told us you have some of the best stories ever. And she was like, my stories are okay. His stories are legendary. So it had to happen. But you can talk about yourself in any capacity you want, and then go into some of these stories.
I'm going to just skip through the whole talking about myself and just get to the stories because nobody's listening to this to hear about me.
Well, they just want to know why you're a guest, but I guess the legendary stories will...
Well, I'm a guest because I have... myself and my friends are dumb and have done a lot of stupid things with poop, so that's why I'm here. And
Excellent.
That more or less sums it up.
So he's an expert in poo. That's why we have him.
That's right.
Excellent. This is great. I like getting right into it.
Yeah. Okay, we don't care about you. We care about your poo.
All right, well, let me just start off with, I have a whole series of stories about myself and my best friend Luke, and this is like my main pooping, like...
He's your Robin?
Yeah, he's my Robin. He's my sidekick. You know, we have a very strong open door policy between the two of us. I've seen him shit probably more than anybody in the world, and I don't know how it started. I think, like, he just... wanted to have some conversation while he was pooping because I lived with him. I mean, I've known him since we were both 5, and I lived with him for a couple of years.
Oh, so you guys were tight.
Yeah. And actually, my first like memory of a funny poop story concerns him because I remember it was like, I think we were probably in kindergarten or something, and we just started being friends. And the first night I slept over at his house, we were hanging out in the backyard during the day, and his dad had built this tree house, and we were up there, and he had to take a shit. So he pooped off the side of the tree house, and then we climbed down and we looked at it, and the poop had like all these like weird like impact craters from hitting the ground. And I think like very recently before that, we were like in school, we did this project where we had like clay, and we were making like little models of the moon and like making little craters in them and everything. And I just remember it like looked like the moon to me. And for some reason it freaked me out because I thought that because his poop looked like a planet from outer space, that he was an alien. And so this is my first time sleeping over at his house, and that night I didn't sleep at all because I was so sure that he was an alien, and that like if I went to sleep, he was going to abduct me and like take me to outer space
and anally probe you
because this shit had craters in it.
Interesting.
So I've got a very creative mind. And,
yeah, I mean, that sounds like... Quick side note, that is the second... Well... Luke wasn't here, but we had a guest that also used to shit out of trees.
But he never talked about the impact.
He never talked about the impact, but he did shit like out of trees.
Yeah, multiple times when he was a kid.
Second, I mean, Grant, you're in a tree house, but still, I mean, that's pretty... There's no podcast that has 2 people shitting out of trees, right? There's no way.
Well,
if there is, their stories aren't as good as ours. I just know that.
I just had to throw that out there because that was really fascinating. But we have to get Luke on here.
Yeah, right? We'll bring him on one of these days.
That's great.
And then I think my favorite story about him was in high school. We were, this is my revenge poop story that I think Jillian alluded to but didn't tell. So we both used to drive to school, and there was like this one street near our high school where everyone would park, and one day I ended up parking behind him, and it was like parallel parking. And so I was coming out of school at the end of the day, and I just like on a whim tried the door because I used to like if he left his doors unlocked, I would go in and like take the headrest or like throw all of his stuff everywhere, like just annoying shit like that. And so he left his doors unlocked again. I don't know why this fucking guy didn't learn, especially because I was parked right behind him. He should have known this.
He's like, I want him to do it.
But I went in the car, and it was a manual transmission, so I put the car in neutral and put down the e-brake, and then I got out and like pushed his car up to the car in front of his till the bumpers were touching, and then I got in my car and drove it up so my bumper was touching his, and then I got a ride home and left my car there overnight.
Oh my God. That is hilarious.
And the person who was parked in front of him was like not a student. They were just some random person. So they left their car overnight. So his car was basically like stuck there overnight. And I sound like a bad friend. I love him. Like, he's like, I love him more than I love myself. I'm not a bad person. This is just like our relationship. But then
it's funny though.
So he got pretty pissed off. And the next day he like tried to get back at me by taking a shit in a bag and tying it onto my car antenna. And I mean, first off, I didn't really care because I just like tossed it aside. But he's also got the most intense poison ivy sensitivity of anybody that I've ever met in my entire life. Like, he's had poison ivy on his balls probably like 30 or 40 times in his life. I don't even know how.
Why the balls?
Like, he gets like every summer he would get poison ivy on his balls and have to go on steroids because it was so bad.
Oh my God.
But he wiped his ass with leaves, and he wiped his ass with leaves that had poison ivy oil on them, and then got extreme poison ivy on his butt.
Oh my God.
So his revenge poop turned into a backwards poison ivy swollen inflamed butthole revenge.
Oh my God.
Oh.
That's the worst.
Yep.
This guy is like trying to like fuck with you, and then meanwhile he's like fucking with himself.
Yep.
Oh, that's awful.
I also like
that's
thought,
the worst right there. Like, ugh.
Yeah, that's got to be like an extreme.
And you need to go back to the doctor, and you're like, oh, again, this guy. You're like, you should just not go in the woods ever again, or wear a fucking diaper or something.
Just don't touch your balls during the summer, maybe.
Yeah, just wear gloves. My God, like, why is he getting? That's just insane.
Or wear like, be a bubble boy, like.
I'm like, he's like, I don't fuck with summer, man. I don't go outside.
Poison ivy's out.
He's like, yeah, I just can't, I can't take that risk again.
Oh my God.
Holy shit. Oh my God, that's awful.
To have an itchy, I mean, like, I've been having my hemorrhoid problem, but to have an itchy asshole.
The thought of that is driving me crazy. Like, I just.
Did you feel your butthole tighten up a little
everything. Like, just the constant itching. I've never had poison ivy, by the way. So I've had friends that have had it.
It's bad.
And it sounds ridiculous. So on my balls? Are you kidding me?
I've only had it once, but I don't think it was poison ivy. I think it was poison oak.
Oh, okay.
And it was really tiny, but my brother and I grew up in the woods, and we used to rub the shit on ourselves.
Oh my
to
God.
see, and we didn't have the allergic reaction. You have to actually be allergic to it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm immune to this shit. And then like in my early 20s, I was in a field that I think had poison oak, and it was a tiny bit, but it was enough.
You're like, this ain't shit.
Yeah, it was enough. It was like the smallest mark, and it fucked me up.
My biggest fear is that, like, I never had chicken pox. I got inoculated for, like, the shingles virus, all that shit. Never got, like, poison oak, poison ivy, all that stuff. I'm afraid I'm going to turn like 60, and then one day I'm going to walk in the woods and like everything's going to hit me. And it's going to like, one, they're going to be like, we've never seen this before. He's got every type of, and it's going to be like a big giant puffer fish, like just like, oh my God, kill me.
Do mosquitoes like you?
Yeah, I mean, but I don't get as bumpy. I mean, it'll last like that day, but then like the next day.
Yeah,
like,
I'm the same.
But when I was younger, it was way worse. I feel like now that I'm older, I don't know. I get bit up, but it's not like as annoying as it was when I was younger.
Thicker skin, man.
I guess so.
That's what it is.
I'm trying out this product because I feel a little swampy.
That's okay. Ellen's using these. Well, we'll get to that in a minute, but
yeah.
She's using some wipes right now to wipe down her armpits.
I just did Pilates. I'm a little swampy.
That's okay.
Well, I mean, that's why the wipes are here.
That's why they're there.
Well, they're here for my butthole, but I'm not going to do that in front of you guys.
No. I mean, you could, but that'd be kind of awkward. Like,
it would be legendary.
Yeah. We're like, okay, so.
I mean, you guys are close, but do you have an open door policy?
Not open door, just through the door. Dave has pooped when I've been in the other, like, down the hall, and he started talking to me, and I was like, all right, I guess we're gonna go there. Our relationship is officially there.
It's freeing. You know?
Yeah.
It's very freeing.
I'm used to I do it with my wife all the time.
I've become your work wife at this point.
I mean, definitely. Sorry, we've been taken away from these awesome stories.
Oh, no, it's okay. Let's just let it happen organically. Let's see. Do I have any other stories about Luke? We both took a shit in the Barnegat Bay once when we were on a science trip.
Where's the Barnegat Bay?
It's like I think it's between LBI and the barrier beach along New Jersey, Long Beach Island, and the regular coast of New Jersey. But we used to do this like nerdy science competition thing every year that involved like a camp out. So we would go and like get stoned and pretend we were in Vietnam and crawl around in the grass while everyone else is like doing stupid science stuff. But one year it was down at the shore, and we had every team would have like a break period where they could like go and study up for the big main event or whatever. And so Luke and I went swimming in the Barnegat Bay, and I don't know, like it was just like, you know, the stars really aligned at that moment, and we both had to take a shit. And I don't know who came up with the idea, but we just took a shit in the bay together and watched our poops float off, you know, on a journey.
Tandem poop.
Yep.
All right, I like that. So that's a true friend
Holding
bonding
hand?
moment right there.
Holding hands.
That's
Holding hands. I got you, buddy.
That's right. I'm here for you.
Nice. So you had a lot of there's a lot of poop stories with your friend here.
Oh yeah.
I don't think I have any like stories like that with friends.
Not that I pooped with them.
Yeah.
I've told a couple of my stories, like pooping in the ocean and then high-fiving my friend with the hand that I wiped my ass with.
Oh. That's so good. Oh.
That was his own damn fault for wanting to high-five
Well, he
me.
went for the high five. He
Yeah.
should have known.
He started it.
He
I
should've
was
gone
like,
for
woo!
the fist.
And he's
He
like,
should've-
wait, how did you wipe with the hand I just high-fived you with?
Oh, he should have like fist bumped you, or just not,
or just a little head nod.
or not even be like, "It's cool,
Yeah.
like it's great, good."
Yeah,
Good for you.
normalize it.
Good for
Shitting
you.
in the ocean.
Yeah.
We should all be doing it.
Well, the fish do. Why not?
It's true.
Yeah.
Their poops are so
Swimming
small
in-
though, and they don't eat all the fucked up stuff we eat.
True. But my poop, I mean, as probably yours, it needed to come out at that moment.
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't have a choice.
Yeah, you had to go.
Yeah.
You got to go. You got to go.
Gotta go.
Just gotta let it happen.
Yeah.
I also, one time we were stuck in traffic getting through the Lincoln Tunnel. This is like, we were like maybe in our 20s or something. And we had gotten pizza for the road, and like we ate the whole pie. And I've always like, you know, pizza is like a pretty surefire way. Like it's a one-way road to the bathroom. And so like, you know, we'd been in the traffic for like maybe 45 minutes, and I had to take a shit the whole time. And you know, we'd moved like a quarter of a mile, and he was like, dude, just go. Like, it's okay. Just go. So I was sitting in the passenger seat, and I opened up the pizza box underneath it, and I reclined the back of the chair and like spun around and put my legs up on like the headrest and just like put my ass out over the pizza box and just took a shit in the pizza box. He's such a good friend.
And then what happened to the pizza box?
Well, once we got out of the traffic, we threw it out, but it, you know, it sat.
But it
there.
sat in the car with you.
Yeah.
Oof. That is a good friend.
Yeah, and
especially you can't open the windows in the tunnel. Like,
well, we weren't in the tunnel yet. Like we were like on the approach to the tunnel. We could have like chucked it out the window, but it doesn't really jive with my environmentalist sensibility.
I mean, you can't. That's just like a total fucking dick move. You did that.
Yeah, and it's also one of those things where like if you're gonna shit on a pizza box in the car, then you have to like deal with the consequences.
Yeah.
Sitting in the car with
you
the
made
shit
the
in
mess.
Box.
oh my God, that's but sitting in your own mess is one thing. Your friend like putting up with your mess.
He did say, "Go for it, man." He's like,
Yeah.
"Let's do it." You know,
He did.
so
Wow.
you know, I figure you're giving the okay if that you're giving consent.
Yeah, he knew what he was getting
I
himself.
mean, that's a good friend.
Yeah, he's a great friend.
That reminds me. So there's like this really good. I'm a big fan of skateboarding, and there's this magazine called Thrasher, and they have this whole. They used to do this thing back in the early 2000s, and then Vice brought it back for like 3 seasons, called King of the Road. And so these guys get like 2 weeks on the road, blah blah blah. They have this book of like things they have to do tricks wise, but they also get like points for like non skateboard related stuff, like hijinks type shit. And so one of them, I forgot the points you get, but it's like take a shit in the van, and that was like a full size van with like a full team, like probably like between 5 to 8 guys. Then like a filmer, a camera person, and then the crew from like, there's like, it's a good, and it's packed full of equipment and everything. And so imagine like, and you only got 2 weeks on the road going from like all over the place. So you're just in this van a lot. People are shitting in vans. There's another one where a guy had a shit. There was a points for like shitting out of a tree onto a pair of shoes. There's one where you're handcuffed to people. and for 24 hours. And then, so, the guy's like, I gotta take a shit. It's like, what? And like, he's like, it's so funny.
Just close your eyes.
Yeah, it's just so funny watching people like, it's really, and they got one hand. It's one of my favorite things, but that's what that reminded me of, like shitting in the pizza box. That could have been a 50-point, I guess, kind of scavenger hunt thing.
Totally.
On King of the Road, but that just totally reminded me of that.
Well,
total side note, but
in that vein, I also like skated my whole life, and I used to. Did you ever read that magazine Slap?
Yeah.
So I remember there was like, I was pretty young when I read this, but there was like some tour that was happening. I don't remember what team or anything, but one of the guys took a shit in a Pringles can, and like there was this whole article just like about this guy shitting in the Pringles can, and like. Then somebody like opened up the can and like flung the shit on his skateboard.
Oh my god!
And the guy got so fucking pissed off that he grabbed the guy and like held him out the window by his neck for throwing his own shit on his skateboard. So
now I have to find this on my phone. I'm gonna like.
Well, there's that famous. Have you guys heard of that famous artist? It was an Italian artist that literally shit in a can in 1961, and it was like totally like pop art where he sold it for like a ridiculous amount of money, but it was one of those things. It's valued. It was sold for. I don't know if this is lira or euros. It was sold at Sotheby's in 2007 for 124,000 euros.
No, that's crazy.
But the funny thing about the shit in the can is the artist shit in a can and sealed it. Are you buying really truly a can of shit? You would have to open it to see if there's really shit in there. But if you open it, then you ruin the piece of artwork.
Completely.
And you're also opening a can of shit that's been, fulminating in there since
1961.
Decades. Do you really
at that
want
point,
that? Is it worth knowing?
Do you think there's even like a vapor anymore? It's just so like just mummified at that point.
It's probably just like powder.
Yeah, it's probably like just nothing. I mean,
it's just shit powder.
No.
It says that his friends said that it's claimed that the tin is full of not of feces but of plaster.
Oh, of course.
Well, I had a friend who he was an art student at Rutgers, and he's like a pretty talented and amazing artist. But his senior thesis was he made like a sort of like 3-dimensional painting out of puke, and he what he did was he got like a bunch of his friends, including myself, and he like fed each of us a bunch of the same color food. Like each person had a color, and he would just like cook you a bunch of food that was that color, and then you would puke in a colander, and he would like strain the liquid out and save the chunks, and then he used the different colors to like make different layers.
Oh my god!
And he made this like really beautiful, like weird painting with it
out of puke,
and but then, just like this dude should have done this, he took photos of people puking and like displayed the photos with it.
Yeah.
So then, like you're actually, it's not like a gimmick.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
This guy should have had a video of him shitting.
No,
in
but
the
I
can
think
and sealing
that's
it.
but I think that's the whole point to his piece of artwork is that it is that big question, like, is there really poop in it or not?
Or it's just like saying anything's art, and then people like buy into it, and it's like based off a name thing.
It's like Dadaism.
Yeah, I mean, if it was like Jim, the fucking janitor from down the street, people would be like, "I'm buying that."
This guy's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's like what you become like a maniac, but then you say like, "I'm this artist." It's now become like this highfalutin thing where you spend a lot of money on it. So,
Dave, I now know a new merch product that we have to put out there.
Shit in a jar?
can?
Yeah, we're gonna shit in cans, seal those things up, sell them.
You should just have every guest poop in a can when they're on the show.
It's like the it's like a weird version of Plaster Caster, like the
or wasn't it
but it's with shits.
The Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert? He had like a little turd in a jar, and it was like some famous person shit, and the person like found the poop and put it in the jar and
I
like
didn't
wore
know
it.
about that. I never saw that
commitment.
movie.
It's in like some movie. I
feel
think it was Priscilla, but maybe I'm wrong.
I don't think I saw that movie. I think I saw part of it once on a plane, maybe.
So good.
I should probably watch that. But
It's a really good one.
okay.
But there's another poop thing we left out of our movie episode. We might have to do a part 2.
Yeah. Jackass, that one.
Yeah, we were talking about Jackass earlier and how there's so much poops and farts. I mean, you could do a whole episode just on that alone.
Yeah.
That was
There's a lot of poops.
profoundly important. That and CKY when I was a kid. Like
CKY videos were pretty cool. Which is basically a
That's-
Jackass, but just with different people, basically.
that's
Bam, and
also probably why, like, I did all this poop stuff with my friends, because we would watch those movies and then go skateboarding, and somebody would, take a shit on something or like do something stupid like
Yeah.
that. So I think like that normalized it enough that Luke and I got to the point where I could shit on a
Yeah.
pizza box in a car. So
I think pranks too. It's just like if you got a crew of people that are like close, it just eventually starts.
yeah,
And then some people just take it like to new heights. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's just like
Yeah, like that Johnny Knoxville movie when the grandpa movie.
Oh yeah,
When he shits on the wall when they're at the
Genius.
diner is one of the funniest scenes I've ever seen in my
so
life.
good.
Oh my
So good.
god. It's so fucked up.
It's so fucked
on
up.
so many levels.
But I love that shit.
It's so good.
I loved it. I think it was in Jackass when they go to like the Home Depot, and I think he's wearing the old man costume in that too, and he takes a shit in like one of the
Yeah.
The display toilet.
There's a new Eric Andre movie coming out. It reminds me a
Yep.
lot like Jackass, but
Yeah.
it's a scripted movie, but it's a scripted movie based on pranks, I think.
That's like his.
But he's like
That's like his thing.
he's pretty fucking funny.
Yeah, that show is
So
amazing.
I have to see that. I think Tiffany Haddish is in it too.
Oh,
Nice.
I love her.
Yeah, like the trailer I saw looked pretty good, so I'm looking for that.
I listened to her audiobook. That woman has
Excuse me.
been through a lot.
Yeah, she's I
Woo.
like her.
Yeah. The fact that she has any kind of sense of humor is insane.
Yeah,
She's had a crazy life.
this is true.
But we're not talking about Tiffany Haddish.
Yeah,
We're talking
exactly.
about Kyle and his poop.
Let's see. I have a different friend that he shat in his hand one time in high school. I don't know. It was like I had art class with this kid. It was like me, this kid Kurt, and then this other guy PB.
It's always something named
And-
Kurt.
Yeah, fucking Kurt, idiot,
Kurt.
stupid guy. But this other guy PB, he came up to me in art class. I was just like working on a pod or something, and he's like, "Dude, did you hear? Kurt's gonna shit in his hand and throw it at a car today after school." And I was like, I'm in.
I got to see this.
I gotta see it because I don't believe it.
Yeah.
But it's Kurt, so he'll probably do it. And
Ugh.
I had broken my leg skateboarding, and so I was on crutches. So we were like, it was like this. I went to high school in kind of a rural area, and there's like this one road that kind of like comes up through like a rock cut. And you can stand like above the cars.
Oh, yeah, yes. I
And
know
it's
you're
like in a big like wide open field. So there's like 15 of us all out there, and we all like went out there, and I crutched out there, and
I definitely got to see this.
so he took a shit in his hand and threw it at the car, and I think he hit like a little bit of it. It wasn't like a full on like right in the windshield kind of thing, but the person in the car knew that somebody threw something at them.
They just didn't
And
know
so
what.
they like slammed on the brakes, and obviously everybody bailed. And then there I am, like fucking crutching through a field. Like, we're like a half mile from the nearest
Oh
house or
my
anything. I'm
God.
just like stumping along. I'm like, oh fuck, I'm screwed. I am screwed. My only defense is like I can't.
There's no shit in my hand.
Yep, my hands are clean, and I can't take them off these crutches to shit in them and
Yeah.
throw
Yeah.
it. So, but luckily we were far enough away from the road that we ended up getting away with it. But
Oh my god, I would be livid though. I don't
It's-
care how. But to your point though, like to your point, but like just when you're a kid, you're like, this is gonna be fucking hilarious.
yeah, you don't think
And then
about
you don't think about
the
any kind
human
of
element.
yeah,
Like,
at all. You're just like, this is gonna be fucking hilarious.
it's fucked up. All these like stories are just sort of things where it's like they're so funny, and then when I'm an adult, I'm either like, man, it's not actually very cool to poop in the ocean because it's like bad for the water, or like it kind of sucks that someone has to go wash shit off their car, like just because you're a dumbass kid.
This is true, but not for this podcast. Here it's great, so we embrace that kind of behavior.
I know all the stuff like we did as a kid that if you had your own children, you'd be like, oh my God, what is wrong with this kid? And you're like,
Oh, yeah.
oh God, I did that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm that asshole.
The shit that I forget, you probably forgot about. You're like, oh fuck, I did that.
Yep.
Oof.
Those are the worst ones. Those are the ones that like come to you when you're laying in bed at night and you're like stressing out about something, and then your mind is just looking for other shit to dig up, and then you're like, oh fuck, why did I do that?
You hear some song, you're like, ooh, that reminds me of that one time. Oh my God, what the fuck was I thinking? You're like, I'm evil. But at least you come to like a certain age and you realize that like this is not acceptable behavior.
Yeah.
There's some people that probably keep doing that shit. They're like, dude, what the fuck? Yeah.
Yeah, like, people
let's
like
bring
people in Jackass. Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah.
Well, they get paid for it. There's
Right.
a difference.
Yeah, if I get paid for it, let's do it.
You would shit in a pizza box that somebody paid you a couple $100,000.
I would shit in a pizza box for free if I had to. I don't feel bad about that.
If you gotta go, it's
if
coming
I am
out.
in traffic trying to get through the tunnel, I mean, I'm going to shit in a pizza box.
I just trying to picture like my wife with me. First of all, she wouldn't be on the off chance she'd be driving the car, and I said like I got to shit in this pizza box. She would be like, I don't even know. Like it could go one way or the other. It's gonna be like, okay, he's got to go, or it's like I will fucking divorce you the second we get into this tunnel, out of this tunnel.
The funniest part is if that was me and Gerald, if I had to shit in the pizza box, he would be so insanely angry at me. But if the tables were turned, he'd be like, whatever, I shit in a pizza box, like get over it. And I'd be like, you're double standard, dude.
My lady's not shitting in a pizza box.
I didn't sign up for this.
Yeah, and a Ziploc bag maybe.
Gerald and I went and saw a concert at Jones Beach a couple of years ago, and we were parked so far away when we got to the venue that I was like, I gotta pee, but we're gonna like tailgate a little bit. And I was like, I just drank this huge Gatorade, and I was like, fuck it, I'll pee in the Gatorade bottle. So I peed in the Gatorade bottle, and at first he was like mad at me for doing it, and he's like, well, I gotta pee too, so I'm gonna do the same thing, because we're in the back of the car, because you can't just like pee. Everybody's parked next to you.
Yeah.
Ooh. So you have to like hide somehow. So I pee in the back of the car, dumped it out, and then he went and took it, and he holds the bottle and he goes, why is this so warm? And I go, did you think my pee is cold? Like
your pee is ice cold.
You're like a reptile,
Yeah.
It's just the temperature of the air.
It just comes out like like ice cubes.
And I was like, dude, come on.
It comes out like a slushy.
Oh my
I don't
God.
know. It's like a weird 7-Eleven thing. I don't know what it is. My blood type's just kind
That'd
of.
be awesome on a summer day.
It's
to
just a
pee
little
cold.
crystally.
Yeah.
It's like,
we're going to the doctor right fucking now.
I can't remember his name, but you know that comedian who did the taxi cab game show?
Oh, Ben Bailey?
Cash Cab.
Yeah, Cash Cab.
Yeah.
Ben Bailey.
Was it Ben Bailey? I thought it was. Didn't he commit suicide?
I don't think so.
There was another guy who. Oh no, it wasn't him. No, it was another guy. Wait, maybe it was that guy. Now I'm getting my comedians crossed. Anyway,
the
maybe
Cash Cab guy.
I think it was the Cash Cab guy. He was. I saw him at Comedy Cellar years ago, and it was one of those like 90-degree New York days where it was like so hot you can't breathe. And he was like, "It is so fucking hot that when I farted, it came out cold." And it was like to the point where I'm walking around the park going, "I'm selling cold farts here. I'm selling cold farts." And it was like the funniest joke ever. And it ties into the podcast.
It does.
It does, because it's farting.
Because it's farting.
Quick side note: Ben
Ooh.
Bailey there's a roast of Patrice O'Neill, R.I.P. On YouTube. You can find it's like this famous thing from like years ago for his birthday roast. Ben Bailey. This is before I think either he was just starting to do Cash Cab or like about to get it, like a struggling comedian. Oh my God, the best roast I've ever heard. It was like he was just waiting to like just destroy everybody in the room. It was amazing. It was vicious.
That's hilarious.
So check that out on YouTube, Ben Bailey, Patrice O'Neill roast. It's pretty funny.
Nice.
Aw, poor Patrice.
Yeah.
He was awesome. Any more stories, Kyle?
I think you might appreciate this one.
Oh, I appreciate them all.
You're familiar with Provincetown in Cape
Uh-huh.
Cod? Have you ever been there?
I've never been, but I've heard lots
Okay.
of great things about it.
So
It's magical. It's just expensive.
Yeah.
yeah, it is. But I would go up there with my family when I was a kid, and we always had this tradition on like we would go up to Cape Cod and just like hang out, and then every Friday before we would come home, we go to P-Town and we go to dinner at the Lobster Pot, and like this is like the thing. And then after the Lobster Pot, we'd always walk out to that pier, that like rock pier that goes out to the tip.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean my parents fucking loved it. And when now that I'm older, I'm like, yeah, that's fucking cool. It's beautiful and it's such a cool experience. You're also like, I think it's the most eastern point on the U.S. seaboard, being all the way out there.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. But when I was a kid, it's always kind of like a drag. And I feel like my sister and I a lot of times would kind of complain about it. But one year, and like we'd always go and have this amazing, like huge ass meal. And this one year we got out there, and as soon as we got out there, I was like, oh man, I gotta poop so fucking bad. I was probably like 10 years old. And I think my parents, they just like had it with the complaining about this thing that we did every year. So they were just like, no mercy. They're like, we're going out. We're going to miss the sunset. You just have to hold it till you get back. And so it's just like...
I just hear the disaster.
I can't wait. This is great.
So it's just like this big stone pier. It's like maybe a mile long. And you're kind of just like hopping from rock to rock. And the whole time we're going out there, I'm just like complaining, being like, I really gotta go. And they're like, we're halfway there, just keep going. And so finally I'm just like, all right, fuck it, I'm just gonna hold it, it'll be fine, I'm just gonna stop complaining. So I'm like up ahead in front of everybody, because I'm like, no, if I have to do this, I'm at least gonna have fun. And I'm like hopping around and everything, and I guess like my body overpowered my mind, and I just like it was like hitting the pressure relief valve, and I just had to like let a little bit out, and like a tiny little ball of shit just like came out of my ass without me even feeling it, and just rolled out of the bottom of my shorts.
Oh my god!
And I didn't even know it, and my whole family just like lost it, like cracking up, because the shit just rolled out of my pants, like fucking like
oh my god,
like a marble.
And
holy shit.
Then my parents were like, okay, this is serious. So then I went down like on the sand next to it and just took like a very violent, wild, crazy shit in the sand. And after that, I felt great, and we walked out to the ocean, and I jumped in, got naked, jumped in the water, washed my butthole off, and then I had a great time coming back. So
Aww.
Great family.
yeah.
I'm glad that your parents could laugh at that. That's great.
Oh yeah.
My parents would have been like, what the fuck?
What's wrong with this kid?
Like, what? I mean, although I can see my parents not even paying, like not even noticing, because they're just kind of like off in, la la land. But that's pretty good.
But I think that the poop rolling out thing might run in the family, because I was texting my sister today telling her that I was going to be on this, and she was like, I need to call in. I've always wanted to be on a podcast, and I've shit my pants 3 times recently, and I want to talk about it. So I was like, just tell me the stories and I'll relay them for you. But apparently she was out for a run, and you know what happens when you run. Like, it gets it all moving. And so she was like, she sprinted home to go to the bathroom, and she lives in Colorado, like nice safe area, and I think they must like stash a key under the mat or something. But she bent down to get the key out from under the mat, and she shit her pants. She shit her spandex. And so then she like gets in the door, she goes to the bathroom and takes her pants off, and the poop, like a ball of poop, just rolled out of her spandex. So
oh my god.
It's just the way we're built,
See, I can't, when I run,
It's like
I can't.
the thing that holds the dam, like the cork.
Yep.
It's a little pebble.
The keystone.
The keystone.
It's like the butterfly effect. It's like one butterfly. You're like, oh my god, it's gonna stop. No, when I run, I feel like if I gotta take a shit, I have to like go from a nice pace to like almost walking, because the more I'm moving, the faster I'm going. It's like I can't control it.
Well, it's a classic catch-22, because if you run, you get there faster, but that just aggravates the poop. But if you walk, then you have to hold it for longer.
I've had to walk home. I'm trying to think, like from Prospect Park, from the bottom of the park, not the bottom of the park. So from like almost a mile, almost 2 miles back home, I've walked. I finished working out with my group class, and we're at the bottom of the park, or like halfway down the park, and I'm like, I can't run back. And they're like, oh, you okay? I'm like, oh, I'm good. My knee is sore. I'm just gonna
walk it off.
I'm just gonna jog it back like really slow and let everybody go. And I'm like, oh my god, I am fucked. And I still haven't shit in the woods yet, because I was like, I could just do that, and then I just couldn't. It was like kind of like winters too, so there was no real coverage in the trees. So you're just like walking around going, I can go there, and it's like I could see through the bush. So yeah, it's brutal.
I've seen people doing it in the woods. I've seen a couple people taking a shit
in
the woods.
Sure.
Yeah.
I told a story once here. A friend of ours that my wife works with, she was on a date with someone who worked at Central Park in the parks department there. And this person was dealing with some kind of, I don't know if she was planning something or what the case was, but she was on her hands and knees doing some project, and she's happened to look up, and directly across from her is a runner taking a shit, looking at there's connected eyes, and they're both like. And she said she just went right back to doing what she was doing, and that was it. There was no word said.
That's classy,
and,
man.
Yeah, but she was saying that like there's a lot of people. I haven't experienced this. I've never seen this because I'm not deep in the woods taking shits. But she said that in Prospect or Central Park, they'd be like, walking around doing work, and like there's rolls of toilet paper like everywhere.
Yep.
Just like hidden, because it's like people, But I get it. It's like when you gotta go, you gotta go.
Yeah, for sure. This reminds me of a couple things, so we're gonna have to circle back a little bit here.
That's
but
okay.
I'll just list them off to build the anticipation. I spend a lot of time in the woods for my work, and I don't poop in the woods when I'm working, just because like something feels wrong about that for me. But just in my own personal time, I do like a lot of hiking and backpacking, so I have a pretty solid little technique for wiping your ass with natural materials when you're in the woods. So I'd like to share that with everybody.
Yes, please. We always love a good tip.
And then the other thing, I just remembered another story too.
Oh yeah.
The holding your poop thing, that reminds me of my mushroom story that Jillian told you guys, because that's basically, that's what happened to me, except I walked from like Murray Hill all the way back to my apartment in Brooklyn, like over the bridge. And so like,
oh my God, for those who don't live in New York, that is very far.
It was a long way.
That
and
is
I was
ridiculously far.
Tripping hard as fuck.
Oh my God.
And I spent all day drinking, smoking weed. I smoked a couple cigarettes, which I don't normally do unless I'm like really drunk. And then, doing mushrooms. So like, and then we went to some crazy diner. I got some sandwich called the Sarge Special. That was like,
oh my God.
It was like a $30 diner sandwich. It was like this fucking big, and I ate the whole thing. And as soon as I left, I was just like, I have to shit. And for whatever reason, I didn't just go back into the
you were high.
the deli. I was on mushrooms, so that's probably what it was.
This is like the perfect storm.
Yeah, it was a nightmare, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make it. And then like I got down to the Manhattan Bridge, and at that point I was like on the I guess it's like maybe 2nd Ave, where there's like that park in the middle, Sarah Roosevelt Park. And so at that point I was like nearing there, and I know where all the Parks Department bathrooms are throughout the city. So I knew that there was the one there, and I was like, I'm going to make it. And I got there and it was locked. So then I was like, okay, I'm fucked. So then I was like, you know what? I'm going to just go to the bridge. I'm going to take a shit in that little like patch of trees that's near like there's like that stairway that leads up to the pedestrian walkway.
I know exactly what that is.
I was like, okay, that's fine. I'll make it there. It's only a couple of blocks. So I get there, and like I'm approaching the like little grove of trees as my like sphincter is relaxing, and in preparation for just like shitting my brains out, tripping like crazy. And I get over there, and a fucking guy is sleeping there, and he jumps up and starts screaming at me and yelling at me and being like, what the fuck are you doing here, man? Get the fuck out of here. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I gotta poop.
There was somebody laying in the trees?
He was sleeping. It was like a guy like sleeping there, and
you were shitting in
his house.
Yeah, and I was
bedroom.
like unbuttoning my pants, and I think the guy just I scared him, and like nobody wants to be sleeping on the street and see someone coming up to them unbuttoning their pants. Like that's not a good look.
Yeah, I imagine so.
But he scared me so bad that he scared the poop back into me.
Oh, that's
good.
So then I was like,
Did
all
you a
right,
favor.
I'm gonna make it. And so I got over the bridge, and like as soon as I got down the other side, then I was like, I'm screwed. So then that was when I had to find the dumpster and just like let it go.
In a dumpster?
Next to a dumpster.
Oh.
Woo.
It was like I don't remember what street it was, but it was like very, very secluded. So it was an empty street. The dumpster was providing just the right amount of cover.
Like if you see someone shitting next to a dumpster, there's no way you can fuck with that person. Like if you're a cop, I can't give this person a ticket. Like that's like what's a low point right there. Yeah. You're shitting next to a dumpster. I mean, that's you know right there. You're like, yeah, I've been there.
But what did you wipe with?
Like nothing.
Oh, man, what did I wipe with?
Oh, and the man was tripping his balls.
Oh no,
off.
you know what? I took my pants off and I wiped my ass with my underwear, and then I carried them home.
Oh, you carried him. Wow, that's you.
I think you would dump your.
That's
no,
excellent.
but dump your underwear in the dumpster.
I didn't think of that.
He made a
He was
dump.
high. I mean,
Yeah,
come
it's
on.
not
next to
mushrooms.
The fact that he wiped his ass with his underwear is pretty remarkable. I mean, I would have been like, fuck this, whatever. I'll just deal with it when I get home.
Yeah, but then if you do that, then you got another problem on your hands. You know, you get the chafing.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, my God.
Yep.
Yeah, that's. I'm just still getting over that walk.
Yeah.
From Murray Hill. What is that
That's
like?
like 5 miles at least.
It was
5
like an
miles.
hour and a half of having to poop and
Yeah.
being on mushrooms.
Oof.
Oh,
It was
Yeah.
terrible.
that sounds really bad.
It was such a sick day though, and like when I got home after I pooped, it was great.
You probably felt amazing.
And then I got home and I think when I got home I like threw my underwear out because it's kind of nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was very excited for Jillian to come home so I could tell her that story
That's amazing.
because it was awesome. I was like, "Oh, you're home. I am on mushrooms, and I took a shit next to a dumpster today." So, what do
I
you
feel
think?
like if I shit my pants and wipe my underwear with it, I think I'd be like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm littering. I'm a
But that's what, he
polluter.
was next to a dumpster.
I know.
That is a garbage
but
can.
I have to, he was high, so there's. You're not like think clearly. He instead of going back into the restaurant, he
Yeah,
decided to
I made
walk.
mistakes all over the
Yeah,
place here.
he
I could
walked
have gone
back.
into any other restaurant and just asked.
There's tons of places he could have gone along that route.
I could have gone to Starbucks.
Yeah, the 5 mile walk home. I'm sure there's one place.
It was a lot of time to think about
Yeah.
other options. So
But
I
I
wasn't
mean-
of sound.
Yeah, no, look, when you're high sometimes, it's kind of like, you're just there for the journey. And you're like,
Yeah.
well, I also have to shit, but
Also, I
that's-
think it was like a challenge aspect to it. It was like,
So, wait,
let's push this baby to the limit.
when you when you took the shit, like, what time of day was it? Was it like at night?
It was at night.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like maybe like 11 o'clock at night.
Oh, okay. So this is like good. You have some coverage of darkness.
Yeah, it was
and
dark.
It wasn't like
That
5
reminds me
o'clock
of,
in the afternoon.
like,
School buses going by.
Yeah.
8 o'clock
The
in the morning.
kids.
that in the music episode, if we do a part 2, you need to add that song, Take It to the Limit.
Oh yeah.
One more time.
You definitely took it to the limit.
Yeah.
You went full throttle.
It was an extreme day.
Yeah, I mean, you had all the things.
And it didn't really feel like a low point to me, honestly. Like, I'm talking about it now. So
Oh my god, I think
So
I would.
funny.
I don't have
I
any
mean,
shame.
I think like if I was high, it kind of counteracts a bunch of like it sort of like counteracts shame.
Yeah.
Not shame, but like just kind of like something happens.
I just had like a sort of detached sense of curiosity.
Exactly.
About what I was going through.
I mean, it's kind of like almost like an Iron Will, like sort of Iron Man triathlon of just like can I
Holding
hold
the dew in.
Yeah, can I hold this thing in? Let's see how far. Yeah, see how far I can go with this.
Push it to the limit.
I mean, you got pretty far.
I know.
That's like
I was like maybe a half a mile from home.
Wow, that's-
so I probably could have made it.
yeah. That's I mean, too, the guy freaking you out or yelling at you. Fear really does bypass a lot of other bodily issues.
Yep.
So it's just like okay, that went right back up there.
Thank you, sir.
The opposite
Yeah.
would happen. Fear would make that shit like come flying out of me.
I don't.
It depends. I guess
Yeah,
like the
I think
fight
I-
or flight response is normally like evacuate.
Fight, flight, or shit.
I feel like all the energy in your body just goes to like, whoa, like I need to get the fuck out of
Yeah.
here. And then
Lighten up.
Yeah, it's like the adrenaline somehow is like like a big paper towel absorbing all the fucking the mess. There's like one little patch in the dam. Someone's like, we got one little bit of like cement left. We can just patch that baby up as the leaks are coming out.
oh my god.
Oh my god, that's great though. You got some awesome stories, my friend.
I've done a lot of pooping in my
Yeah,
day.
I mean, this is like a gold
A lot
mine.
of public pooping.
It's a brown mine.
I'm
Unit
skipping a
brown.
lot of them too because I've told all the good ones and the other ones are just kind of like, who wants to hear it?
Hey, I'm
Wait, you
deferring to
started with saying that you know the best natural thing to wipe with.
Oh, right. It's
but you
my.
never
It's like
finished.
it's a 4-step process.
Oh.
Okay.
It depends on where you are. Also, you have to have a little bit of environmental awareness. So,
Okay.
like, if you're in the desert, for instance, you're a little more limited. But because of the erosive action of the wind blowing the sand around, there's a lot of smooth stones. So you're
Oh.
usually good with just a nice smooth stone.
Oh,
And you just do like a multiple different treatments of different stones, and you can kind of like in general, the idea is like you want something that's just, and also keep in mind this is like I do a lot of like type 5 and ups, so they're a little bit softer.
We
So-
need binding agents for both of you.
Yeah, I think it's also like I drink a lot of beer, and I think that kind of like fucks it up. But so the first move for me is always like, I need just something that's gonna like move the material away. So the first thing has to be solid so that you can clear it out. And then you have to follow up with something a little bit more like abrasive to sort of like scrub. And then you finish with a polishing thing. So if you're in the desert, you start with just like a general rock. Like you find a nice rock that generally fits, your butthole, and you use that to kind of just plow it out. And then you find, like, if you're in a volcanic area, maybe some pumice stone. You use that to just scrub a little bit. You do it gently.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds a little rough.
You like grit in your toilet paper, but not that kind of grit.
Well, I mean, you have to like
exfoliant.
You have to be. I've been doing this a long time, so I know like amount of pressure
this
that
is
I need
great.
to use. And then it's just like if you're like buffing something out on a car with some wax, like you put a little abrasive on there to get the scratches out,
sand,
and then you want to follow with a polisher to like give it a shine. So you always finish with the smoothest thing you can possibly find, and that just kind of like puts finish on it.
Nice.
Wait, what if you're in like
a sparkle in your butthole,
like a leafy, grassy area?
Right. So with that, you want to start with, usually when I'm backpacking, I'll be like collecting material as I go for the inevitable shit, because I'm like a big environmentalist. I don't bring toilet paper when I go overnight. I just like rely on natural materials because I don't want to leave paper there.
That's very thoughtful.
So I'll be like sort of like scoping it out halfway through the first day, being like, okay, grab some of this, grab some of that. So you start with like the biggest possible, most like also I'm a forester, so I know my tree leaves really well, but I always look for something that I know is like a really water loving species that like will draw a lot of water into the leaves, because then the leaves are going to be like nice and plump, and they'll be like a little bit more, they're a little more formative. So that's like your transportation agent. And then I found that for the more like the gritty scrub step, either like fiddlehead ferns, because they're very they're just like they got some texture, or if you can find like a piece of moss, that's really good. And then to finish, you just find like some really smooth leaf, or also, like, especially if you're in the Northeast and you're like under dense canopy, usually the ground is like pretty moist. So you just find like you can pick up just a handful of leaves from the ground that are like a little moist and use that as the polishing agent. Birch bark is good too as a final step.
This is amazing. I'm just trying to picture myself like just doing this and being like moss or like something prickly. I mean, I might have to skip step 3 maybe and just go right to the soft thing at the end.
Yeah, I would just do the leaves. I don't need the moss.
It's remarkable what you're saying.
The thing is, if you don't get it all out, like you're not, like if you're out for multiple days, you're not showering and you're walking like, 10, 15 miles every day. If you don't get it clean, you're gonna be chafing like a motherfucker.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
So it's not like I enjoy the abrasive step. It's just
it's a necessary step.
It's necessary.
I understand that. I guess I'm picturing myself. I don't think I'm ever going camping that long without, like, taking a shower. I mean, 2 days I think I can go.
Right.
Like maybe 2 days. Where now I need to go back to a cabin. It could be like bare bones, like just with something with a toilet. But like, I don't know, like just being that far out, where, I mean, who knows?
But I'm also realizing now, like, being inspired by you guys and your products, like there's that
the travel tushy
ass cleaner thing. You could just pack that, pour a little water in it, and use that.
That thing is great.
Yeah, they literally advertise.
It's got a little carabiner.
Yeah,
you
it
does.
Just
hanging on your back.
You can make it seem like, hey, look, I'm outdoorsy.
It looks like a water bottle.
It does. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm about it.
I love my tushy.
If I could bring a tushy with me camping, I'm like, guys, I'm just gonna roll this toilet through the fucking on this camping trip, this hike.
Hook up a pump to a stream, start pumping water out.
It literally has a carabiner.
Yeah,
you got to get the travel tushy.
I don't see myself bringing that with me.
it's tiny. It's like the size of a baseball.
Well, it compresses down. It's really small.
Oh, yeah. I do see the baffles.
Yeah.
Do we have one?
Yeah. Hold on. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, we don't want to miss any of this.
It is?
Yeah, it's pretty compact.
Okay, so I'm about to show Kyle the travel tushy. So
which you can get at hellotushy.com with promo code HeyPoopy for
Nice.
10% off.
Nice. Good
Yeah.
capacity here.
really good capacity.
Really good. I took it to Vegas and I would fill that thing up and I'd get like 3-4 dews out of it easy.
I took a massive one to our camping beach trip, and I still had like a good quarter of the water that I had in this bottle left. So
Wait, so if you're in Vegas, you're just leaving the water in there between poops?
Yeah, I would just leave it on the back of the tank.
yeah, and the way this is set up, it's not like you're getting like shit.
Yeah, nothing's going back in it. Also, I
Yeah.
don't give a shit about hygiene, obviously.
Oh, okay.
So
True.
But it's awesome because like
I carried shit covered underwear home with me after shitting behind a
How
dumpster.
can I forget that?
I don't care.
but you literally just like go back and squeeze and like the way it's awesome.
Yeah, I really do enjoy it.
It looks nice too.
I do
Yeah,
enjoy
it's a pretty design.
it.
Don't
God.
forget your travel tush.
No, I'm gonna bring it this time. Sorry. Anyway,
Keep that butthole clean.
keep it clean with this travel tissue. It's fantastic.
Nice.
We got the BOGO deal, so we got one white one, one black one.
Nice.
It's like a Paul McCartney, Michael Jackson song.
They sent me like a questionnaire because I was like one of the first people to buy one, I guess. And the questionnaire was like, "What other colors would you like it in?" And I was like, "Green, blue,
You like brown,
brown,
Yeah, you know,
Poo-poo
something
brown.
on theme.
clear?
ooh, clear, ooh,
There you go. See what's going in there.
Yeah, some kind of sparkle.
glitter in my butthole." Kyle, when you're at home, what kind of toilet paper do you use, and do you prefer over versus under, or under versus over?
So this is going to be probably a theme for a lot of the questions that you guys are about to ask me, but I don't really care either way as far as the direction, nor do I really care about like the toilet paper. I think I prefer, like, I don't love the super thick quilted stuff because it feels like it's not like
Doing anything?
yeah, I'm just kind of like, just like fluffing
Yeah.
my butthole with that really cushy
I agree.
stuff. I don't get down with the single ply, really rough stuff either. But you know, I'm pretty flexible. I don't have like a
Nice.
particular brand or anything like that.
I like it.
but-
You're independent.
yeah.
But being an environmentalist, you look for anything like we have been talking more about recycled.
Yeah, I mean, I like the
I'm now
seventh
into-
generation or
yeah.
stuff like that.
I'm now into bamboo toilet paper because that's much
It's
better.
great.
True.
Yeah,
It's not bleached.
the
True.
bamboo's fantastic because we're not cutting down trees. It grows much faster.
I have to say something somewhat controversial here,
Ooh.
I guess, but I think that recycling and also the fear of using paper products is a little bit overblown, and that people sort of fixate on these two things because it's a convenient distraction from the reality of how fucked the environment really is. And as a person who works in forestry and with trees, I tend to actually not have a problem with using paper products. Like if I'm at a bathroom that has like a public bathroom that has like a air dryer and paper towels, I'll always go for the paper towels because if forestry is done in a sustainable way, which like a lot of products that you end up buying in the US, they are, because certification is sort of becoming the norm. Growing trees and then cutting them down and then replanting them in a sustainable way is actually good for the environment, because when you're planting trees, you're sequestering carbon as they're growing. So it's actually not, I don't have a huge problem with using.
Yeah, but you said you prefer 7th generation. That's recycled.
Yeah, and I guess recycling is good, but there's other things to think about with that, because there's like a huge amount of energy that goes into
Right, to
processing
the processing.
recyclable
Yeah.
paper and then
Yeah.
turning it back into
I mean, basically, the big thing too, if I've read too, is like as far as like it's just planting tons of trees.
yeah.
Like that's the thing. Like this, if we keep planting more trees, you're not gonna. I mean, there's other things I'm sure that as a layman, but it seems like to me like if you just
Yeah, and like
constantly.
the places where they're getting the pulp to make toilet paper, like they're not cutting down beautiful, large, majestic trees to do this. Really, they're making that out of like, you know, if they harvest a big tree that they turn into boards, there's like all of this material, like all of the small branches and the leaves, and it's all called slash. It's all the stuff that like in the past they would just leave on the ground, but now they just pulp that up and turn it into paper. So it's not like using, I'm not saying like, you know, go buy a ream of paper and fucking burn it.
Yeah.
But like, you know, if you're not using recyclable toilet paper, or recycled toilet paper, I'm not going to judge you. It's fine.
Interesting. Okay.
So
Good to know from an
I like it,
environmentalist.
yeah.
I think that like most people will like disagree with that, and that's fine. But like, that's just the way that I see it. Also, you know, using paper keeps people like me in work. So
Right. Nicely said. I
Yeah.
like it.
You answered about like work poo.
And clearly have no
Yeah.
problem going to the bathroom anywhere. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
or
no.
going to the bathroom.
as long as there's a dumpster around,
Yeah.
I'm good.
or a
talking to
pizza
your-
box.
Yeah. Talking to your significant other about poo.
Yeah.
You guys are open with that. Your significant other said she'll like poo with the door open right when you're still in bed.
You just knocked up all these. Just went to those check
Sorry,
boxes
guys.
like crazy. It was awesome. No, it's great.
We know that floor versus pants, you're going to floor it.
Yep.
You'll
No doubt.
wipe it on your underwear, but you will floor
Yeah.
it. You gave us some of your first memories with your friend. You gave us.
You give us tips?
You didn't have a full-on accident story, but
Shitting my pants while I was walking across
Yeah,
the pier.
that's-
That's maybe an accident.
yeah. When it rolled out,
Yeah.
but then you like.
And the mushroom thing. It's kind of. I mean,
Yeah, but
It's
they were
a-
close to a pants, but it was a full
Yeah.
floor.
Like, have I shit my pants? Is that the question?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, I'm taking. Everybody has. But
Yeah.
I mean, I'm taking the one you told about the little pellet rolling out was pretty fucking.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I don't know. Have I had accidents? I guess like so many of my accidents have been mitigated by just like, you know, pooping in weird ways that other people wouldn't do. So maybe I'm a little less accident prone.
Because you floor it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you give us those great tips on like what to use when you're out in the woods.
Yeah.
Wiping your ass with. I mean, that's like I wouldn't even thought of that.
Is there any other product that you like using at home to help you? Do you use sprays, matches? You don't have a tushy?
Matches is the only thing. I don't like. I think we're gonna get a tushy because Jillian wants one, and I mean, who doesn't like a bidet? It's great.
Literally the best.
Great.
I tend to be like a minimalist, and like a lot of times I think of like products or like people being afraid of like their bodily functions, and it kind of like makes me annoyed because I'm just like, oh, who cares? It's just pooping.
Yeah.
Like, what's the big deal? But I mean, the tushy's pretty great.
It's
Yeah,
great.
did
And
you
and
use my
using-
tushy at my house?
No.
You didn't use it?
No, because I've never been to your place here, and when we were at your place in Asbury, it wasn't set up yet. Because remember, I took the wing nuts off your toilet seat
I wasn't
bolts.
sure if you'd pooed after.
No, because I think we left before it was like fully set up.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
But I've used one. I used one once when I was in China, like not a tushy, but like a real
Actual
bidet.
bidet, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I stayed at an Airbnb for a friend's birthday once, and they had like just like a straight up dedicated hose, and I loved that. So
Nice hose.
yep.
It gets the butt gets the hose.
Yes.
Yep. Put the lotion in the basket, or the butt gets the hose.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Every time.
I think that's all our normal questions.
Cal,
You
you're
like literally
fan-
checked off all
It's
the
amazing.
boxes.
I love it.
I'm not mad.
No, it's great. That's like a first timer right there. You're like, I got this.
Well, I think his significant other was pretty. She was like shot out of a cannon. She's like, and I got this story. And like before I could even ask the question, she's like, no, I like under. I like this. I like.
It was
Well, she's
Yeah.
probably one of your better fans, so
Yeah.
she knows the format, and she knows.
Oh,
she
she
knew
came-
what was
she
coming.
came-
Yeah.
And she's been a correspondent.
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah. It was. I mean,
Technically, she's been on 3 episodes.
yeah.
She
Her
also,
own episode, The Party, and a correspondent.
She did. She recorded a little correspondence when we were in Iceland too, so you got that coming. For
Oh,
you.
Oh,
shit! We
she didn't
can't wait
tell
for
me
that.
about that.
Yep.
Little
Amazing.
surprise.
Surprise.
Whoa.
That was your souvenir from our trip.
No
Oh,
way.
That's amazing.
Amazing.
I love all that.
I love a travel poo story.
They're the best.
Travel poo.
Hopefully, I'll have some good ones in Florida.
Yeah, right. I'm going to do mushrooms this coming weekend, so maybe I'll have some good stories for you next
Sweet.
weekend
That's what's up.
for
Okay.
the next episode. Mushroom dew.
Should we get into?
It grows out of poo, and then you make a big poo.
It's the circle of life.
It
the
is.
circle of life.
Mushrooms are fun.
Oh my God, they're the best. Yeah, let's get into Let's Get Shitty.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for Let's Get Shitty!
This is the section of the podcast where we get to complain about stuff. Because everything else has been a blast. A butt blast.
A butt blast.
And
a
now
brown
we get
blast.
to talk about the things in life that are mad shitty. They could be shitty people, shitty things, or just things revolved around shit.
Totally.
Kyle, do you have anything shitty you want to talk about or vent about?
Wait, so it's not just, it doesn't have to be poop related?
No.
No,
Mine
Dave
are,
always...
mine are rarely poop related.
Rarely?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm 90-80% poop related.
Ellen's got a much higher rate of
yeah.
poop related
Dave is like
shittiness.
maybe 15%.
Yeah, I'm low. I'm working on it, but
Yeah.
See, I was sort of like preparing for this in terms of shitty poop things.
no, that's great.
And the thing
No, I mean
There's no wrong way to vent.
Mine is my Let's Get Shitty this week is revolved around that too. So
okay.
I try to tie it in, but it doesn't have to be.
Fair
There's
enough.
something really vexing you, that you need to vent about. Let it go.
Well,
This is our dumping ground.
Dump it out.
Dump it out. I guess. Well, what I came prepared with it was so we just came home from Iceland, and I am personally frustrated with my own digestive system while we were in Iceland because I don't know if it was like something about like sitting in these sulfurous hot springs every day that like my body like absorbed it through my skin, but the entire time we were there, I was farting and it smelled exactly like the hot springs. And it was fucking awful. Like, I never, ever, 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 ever smell farts. Ever. Like, I haven't smelled a fart in years, but on this trip, I was smelling every single fart. And it just smelled, it was just like, it smelled like rotten eggs.
Yeah.
It was like,
Awful smell.
it was such it sucked. And like, I just couldn't understand it because I wasn't like eating anything crazy or anything, but it was just like, what's going on in my body?
Probably. I mean, I'm sure your body was absorbing some of that stuff. Just sitting in those things.
Were you pooping normal
Iceland's
on the
awesome.
trip?
Yeah. Yeah. But my poop was also smelling like a hot spring too. It
Ugh.
was
Yeah,
fucking
I mean,
disgusting.
oof. That's pretty smelly.
That's
I've been to
terrible.
Iceland and parts of it, you're like, it does look like a giant fart.
Yep.
Everywhere you go, you're just like, wow, okay, well, you
It
are
was
kind of
bad.
on a crater, I guess.
Wasn't there like a kid show where the bogs like that made fart noises?
Fraggle Rock?
Maybe. It sounds like that.
I
There's
think.
some kind of thing.
I feel like that
it
would
was
be on Fraggle Rock.
Labyrinth.
Oh, Labyrinth, yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
had
that's
the
right.
stinky bogs.
Yep. That's right.
Well, there's both Jim Henson, right? So, is
Yeah.
it Labyrinth Jim Henson?
Yeah.
So, not too far off.
Dave, do you have your Let's Get Shitty?
Yes, I do. It's not shit related, so I apologize. Next time I'll try to bring something that's poop related. But I went to go see Blondie and Elvis Costello last night in Forest Hills.
Awesome.
It was really fun. But my shitty moment wasn't there. It was coming back on the train. If you guys ever been there before, but basically after the show, like every single person from that stadium just rushes to the fucking EFR train, and it's like a madhouse. So we happened to get on a train, got 2 seats, my wife and I brought a book. I'm reading it, and this woman gets on like somewhere in Queens, and is already like annoying because she's bringing her like suitcase roller thing with a backpack. She's bumping into everybody. People are like, "Can you just move away a little bit?" And then so that's not working. She's stepping on my feet, and I'm reading my book, just kind of like minding my own business. And now she's like, I have a bookmark that has a picture of burlesque performer Poison Ivory on it that I got with some bag or something like that, and the little tips of her feet are sticking out of the bookmark, somewhere in the back of the book. And this woman, like in the middle of like the train, just like, I hope that lady's gonna be okay. And I was like, and I'm like, what? She's like, you're in your book. I hope that lady's gonna be okay. I'm like, I'm reading the book. It's Keith Richards' life book. So I'm like, huh? And she's like, no, the bookmark, those toes. I hope she's gonna be fine. I'm like. And I remember I looked up at her. I'm like, yeah, she's gonna be fine. It's a piece of paper. And then she's just like, oh, just checking, making sure she's not gonna get hurt or anything.
Oh,
and I'm like, do you not see me reading this fucking book? Like, do you think I'm just staring at one page and hopefully no one, like waiting for someone to be like, hey, what's going on? Like, just
Tell me about that bookmark there.
And it's like the train it's like beyond packed. The fact that I'm even sitting down is like a miracle. But like, just minding my own business. And she just wouldn't let up. And then two or three stops later, some people get off, and now she sits right next to my wife, directly across from me. And she's just talking to her about like, it smells like BO on this train. Does it smell like BO to you? I'm not saying you smell like BO. And when she told me this later, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And then she realized she was going the wrong direction.
Oh my God.
She's like, is this train going into Manhattan?
She's
like,
clueless.
she's like, yeah. She's like, oh my God, I'm on the wrong train.
Oh my goodness.
And but I just wanted to be like, I just don't understand that sort of like that need to like inject yourself into everybody's shit.
Like an open forum.
It's insane. I'm reading this book. I mean, it wasn't like the most egregious things that were happening to me on the train, but it was just so fucking rude. I mean, just beyond. So anyway, I was really kind of annoyed by that. And just her whole demeanor, like with the backpack, it was like fucking annoying.
This is New York. Don't talk to people.
Yeah, especially not on the train. Nobody wants to talk.
I mean,
No.
I get that, but it's just like, if you see anybody reading a book, why would you think you need to like, interrupt that person?
Yep.
I don't know. It was just really annoying and just fucking I was just pissed.
That's just like one of those weird social awareness things that some people just don't have, because like,
all I kept thinking was like, you're alone. There's no way you're like with this. I mean, this has got to be some kind of pattern, right?
Yep.
But it was just really funny. He's like, hope that lady's gonna be okay. I'm like, are you talking to me? He's like, yeah. I'm like, what? I'm like, what lady? Your bookmark. Oh, anyway, yeah, that was really funny and annoying.
Yeah. My Let's Get Shitty this week is about farting while you're having sex. I kind of told Dave this story.
Give me a little preview.
I gave him a little preview before, but I realized pooping during sex is also pretty bad, but it sucks so badly, like when you're trying to be sexy, and especially like blowjobs I feel like are different because your like nose is a totally different place, but
you're
like
farther up.
Yeah. But the vagina and the
same area,
butthole
though.
are very, very close.
They're neighbors.
And if you fart, and my boyfriend's so against farts, even when I'm like 10 feet away from him, that if I farted on his face. But I was telling Dave that like last night he was giving me a sensual naked massage, and every time he massaged
Are there any other kind of massages, by the way?
Yeah, just regular massage.
Sensual clothed massages?
No, just a regular spa massage versus a boyfriend nude, oiled down, naked one. But he kept like rubbing my butt cheeks open, and I felt like every time he did that, a fart was just I didn't have to fart, but his like movement of spreading my cheeks.
He's like, yeah, baby, what's going on?
It's like, that's terrible. It's like Mistress Ashley when she was talking about those spreaders, and I was just like, oh my God, I'm gonna fart. And then I'm on my belly, and he's like goes to eat me out, where his nose is right in my asshole, and I was like, oh my God,
he's gonna love this episode.
I can't. He doesn't listen.
Yeah,
I can't enjoy the sex we're having because I feel like I'm holding in a fart. Thankfully, I didn't fart. I mean, God bless. But that's literally, I remember back when I was like 24, I was dating this guy who was eating me out, and I was like, you need to move your face right now. You got to move. And he's like, why? And I was like, because I just farted in your face. And like, he's like, oh my God, why didn't you tell me? I was like, I just told you like 20 times, move your fucking face.
I feel like that wouldn't stop me. I mean, I'd probably be like, all right, okay. Let's just,
but like
regroup.
Farting during sex, that's why it's a Let's Get Shitty. It's hilarious to tell the stories after, but during, it's like it totally takes you out of the mood. And it takes me out of the mood.
I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to really go back and think if I've ever farted or a partner's farted.
I mean,
While
maybe I
having-
told you the story about like the third time Gerald and I ever had sex. We
You
were
told me,
like,
yeah.
we were on our knees, and he was behind me, and he farted so loud it was like an extra thrust.
And you're like, oh, do that again.
Boom!
It's like, whoa.
And we both stopped for like a second, like, oh, let's continue and pretend like that didn't happen. And then like a week later, he was like, so, and I was like, yeah, I know. The whole block knows. That fart was so fucking loud. But yeah, I just feel like I wish there was something you could do to like not.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's awful. It's awful
okay.
if it happens. It's my let's get shitty. I'm
Hey,
having
look.
a moment.
I get it.
Jillian's
You know?
farted when we've been having sex before. And also, sometimes when we're having sex, I fart quietly and just hope that she doesn't notice.
Does
So,
she ever?
I don't think so.
But you guys, I feel like, are a little bit more comfortable with your gas and poo. Gerald is so against me bringing it up, talking about it. And if I farted during sex, he would literally be like, "Now you ruined it. Now you ruined it." Like,
I
and
would.
so
I would be like, yeah. I've definitely like, she's like, hey, I'm gonna fart. Can I come up here for a minute? Awesome. But I'm
Yeah.
trying to think like actually in the act, like, has that ever happened? I don't know if it has, or maybe it has. I just was just so wrapped up into what I was doing. That's kind of like, whatever, man. I'll do that later.
Just let that one.
Yeah.
Let that one go.
I mean, it does make for a funny story, but
That's pretty good.
it takes me out of the mood when I have to hold in my own fart because I want to relax and be in the moment.
Yeah. Also, if you're like holding it back, then you're holding other stuff back.
Oh,
Yeah.
completely. And my whole mind is like, don't fart, don't fart. His nose is in your asshole. Don't fart, don't fart.
Oh my god. Let's flush all that down on the drain.
It feels
so
so much
cleansing.
better.
Clear.
Right?
Yep. That's great.
We're flushing our intentions and our problems down.
This is like fucking yoga.
Right?
Let's get into some news,
Whoop whoop.
shall we? Nope. That's not. Here we go. That's pretty good.
It is good.
I mean,
I kind of like that one because it's a little bit shorter.
I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I was like, that's pretty fucking funny.
That's the one we used for Jillian when she was a correspondent.
This story, poop-related story, comes to us. It's just another Brooklyn story. The Brooklyn Douglas and DeGraw public pool. This happened kind of recently. Yeah, it's like in the Gowanus area of Brooklyn, and an infant flushed this perfect day down the toilets. Somebody didn't put Pampers on their kid, a staffer at Douglas and DeGraw Pool told the Post Friday evening. And basically, patrons had showed up on Saturday morning hoping to beat the heat with a nice, refreshing dip. And then were livid to learn about unsanitary conditions. And then, quote, "What the fuck? On the hottest day they closed the pool?" fumed Sugail Mercado, 43, who brought her her 6-year-old daughter to the Gowanus pool. Basically, some kid just shat in the pool.
The night before?
No, that day.
And we learned from the Autumn Summers episode that basically when somebody poops in a public pool, all they do is clean out the dew, the pool is closed, and they re-chlorinate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
Yeah.
You would think, like, I would be like, okay, we have to drain this pool and scrub it, and then, like...
I mean, that's what they do when they process wastewater at the treatment plant. Strain the shit out, throw a bunch of chemicals in it, pump it out into the ocean.
Ugh,
I was wrong.
terrible.
I totally got my own story. Yes, it happened Friday night.
Right,
So
so
so swimmers came Saturday morning, and now it's like, I mean, it was like 100 degrees, like
Yeah.
out basically. It was brutal.
They
last Saturday.
they kept the pools open on extended hours that week.
Yeah.
Because it was like so fucking hot.
So around 11 a.m., the line began to form outside the gates, and workers were on hand to inform people of the closure. So they were not fucking happy.
Yeah, you guys missed because you were in Iceland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was... I was telling Gigi that I was walking on Sunday, and I was like, I actually think my brain is melting. It's that hot.
Oh, I'm so glad I missed that.
Yeah. And then the insane storm on Monday.
Rainstorm?
It rained so
was
nuts here
Huh.
that like trees were down.
Nice.
And again, in Gowanus, there was a ton of flooding.
Yeah.
Like a ton of flooding. Just because the system was so overworked.
And Gerald's work, the tattoo shop is a ground floor and then a basement where people work. They had 2 feet of water in there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Damn.
Yeah, they had thousands
How
and
did I not
thousands of
hear about
dollars.
this?
I don't know.
I don't know. You were in Iceland.
Yeah, but I mean,
You were making
I
big
read the news.
sulfuric farts in that.
You don't look at Gerald's Insta stories because he was talking about it on Instagram.
I mean, by the time I got home, I think that was probably buried in like, you know, 9 days of
With a million other things that are going on.
Yeah, you were busy. You were on
Well,
vacation.
One pool attendee quoted, "Red Hook it is." Pool staffers attempted to placate
This was in
another.
New Jersey.
Cool.
That's fucked up. Pool staffers attempted to placate another disappointed kid with snacks. He's very upset, said Zena Franklin, 55, her 11-year-old grandson, Jeremiah. His names, Zena, Jeremiah, I fucked up that first person's name. I don't even know. But, yeah, it was crazy, man.
This was in my yard.
Oh, in Asbury.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I need to get this removed.
Oh, shit. It sucks. There was a big, maybe we'll put this up on the Instagram post. There's a big yellow sign that says, "This pool is temporarily closed to address the health and safety conditions. It will reopen within 26 to 32 hours.
What?
And it says day blank, time blank. So it's just like any other city thing. It's like, yeah,
just throw
whatever.
the sign up.
Just put it up there. We apologize for the inconvenience. Yeah, that's nuts, man. Like on the hottest day. And like just think of like a giant Olympic-sized pool like that. And like now it's just like ruined.
Yeah.
How much shit did that kid make?
I mean, enough where they gotta. I mean, look, any amount of shit in the pool, they're gonna. We gotta close this. I'm sure there's.
Yeah,
like
I think it's health code
Yeah.
sort
Yeah.
of thing.
That's definitely page 1 of that book they open up.
Also,
No, but Autumn made it sound like it's only like 4 hours. This is like 2 days worth.
Well, that
of
might have been
food.
back in the day too.
it's also might be that like, you know, the kid shit in the pool on Friday night. Obviously, they didn't find it until
That's a good point.
Saturday morning. So
Oh,
you
it
know,
was
it
or
could
if
have
they
been
did,
distributed.
or if they
Stooping.
did, yeah, or if they did, no one decided to fucking
Stewing.
deal with it
They're
because
like,
they're probably like, you know what,
I'm
I'm
off
out of
tomorrow.
here.
It's all good.
Tim's on duty tomorrow, not me. I'm partying. Yeah, but I mean, it's just like, also, it's like, just don't put your baby in the pool if you know they haven't gone to the bathroom.
Yeah,
Without a diaper on.
it's true.
I mean, it's like, why are you doing that? It's just selfish.
It is.
fucked up
Yeah.
behavior.
That's again shitty moment right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I
Person
don't.
ruining the
Yeah,
pool for everybody.
I don't blame the baby. The baby's just doing what a baby does. The stupid, annoying parents
Babies do
who don't want to
do.
deal with it and pretend like they don't have a kid. Oh, my kid's 15. You're like, what? He's an infant. So yeah, that's just like, it's just nasty. That's
Ugh.
which is why, because like my wife has been talking about like going to swim in the mornings before work. And I'm like, yeah, it's great, but these last couple stories about these pools, I'm kind of like, I don't know if I want to go swimming in any pool anymore,
Yeah.
especially like a public New York City
Yeah.
pool.
I have a hard enough time at hotel pools, but public pools gross me out.
I mean, now they are. I'm just hearing that story. I'm like, Jesus Christ, and the amount of kids are in there. I mean, you go in the morning, probably not so bad, like early in the morning, but still, like lap time. I'm like, oof,
no,
Yeah.
thank you.
I don't need that. But that was another story about public pooping in the pool, which is so gross.
It's a bold move.
It's a bold move. But with that, Kyle, thank you
Yeah,
so much.
thanks, Kyle.
Thank you for having me. This was
Yeah.
so much fun.
I'm
This is
so glad you had
awesome.
so many amazing stories. It was really fun hearing everything, and your friend Luke, and we learned a lot about like what to look for out in nature. I mean, I really had no clue. This
There was pizza rat, and now there's pizza poop.
pizza poop, pizza box shitting. You know,
Oh my goodness!
doesn't get much better than that. But anyway, thank you again for coming
Yeah,
on.
thanks, Kyle. This is awesome.
Oh yeah, thank you.
I'll have
You
on
brought
again.
it.
You can again, like if you have like anything you see out in the work.
Yeah, you're welcome to be
work
a
life?
correspondent.
Yeah,
Sure.
please.
Next
Yeah.
time I see someone shitting in the woods, I'll let you guys
Yeah,
know.
man.
Well,
let us know.
please
I'm dying to
record
hear that.
it.
Record it. Like we'll play it on the air.
be like live on the scene.
Just having my lunch, watching some guy taking a shit over here. No big deal. So yes, but thank you.
Thanks everybody for listening. Please email us your stories. We're gonna have an email episode soon.
Yeah, we're getting some good stories in.
Hey Poopy Podcast at gmail.com.
.com.
And I like to say happy pooping, but also my new sign off is toot 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 instead of toodaloo. Toot toot toot. Do.
To do. And we say adieu.
Adieu. Toot toot.
Bye bye.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to Shooting the Shit with Dave and Ellen. You can listen to us on platforms like iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, Spotify, Stitcher, and even YouTube. Please download, rate, review, and subscribe to any and all of those places. And tell all your friends about us.
For more about Shooting the Shit with Dave and Ellen, you can check us out at heypoopypodcast.com. For questions, product reviews, information, please email us at heypoopypodcast@gmail.com. And you can see us on Instagram at heypoopypodcast.
Theme song by Jordan Pearlson. Hey, Poopy.
Oh, that one's gross.
Very wet.
Oh, my God. Okay.
Hey Poopy, how you doing? Hey Poopy, how you doing?
I'm just, trying to find a place with like-minded people to talk about like-minded things about me, about poop and stuff.
Hey Poopy, how you doing? Hey Poopy, how you doing?
Oh man, what's this right here? Is this a podcast about poop?